It's back to school fears post-pandemic lockdown. Parents have a complicated mission this year of juggling anxiety and uncertainty, reassuring kids it's safe to be away from them, all while reminding them to be careful and get ready to be flexible just in case their school situation changes again. How do you do that? Joining us this morning is life psychiatrist Carole Lieberman. Thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you.
I want to start with the fear of safety and germophobia. I talked to several parents and got some questions from them. I wanted to run them by you if that's okay. With germophobia and keeping clean, one parent was wondering, how do I instill enough fear in my kids so that they do wear their mask, keep their mask on, wash their hands, but not too much so that they can't function out of being so scared?
Yes, there is a fine line. You know, of course, parents don't want their kids to get to catch germs in school. It's so important that we go back to school. But obviously, we're all concerned about how safe it is and so on. But I think just, telling them to wash their hands regularly, hopefully the teachers will have set up a way to do that. But you can't make them scared to touch a pencil or touch a desk. I mean, first of all, they won't be able to learn. And second of all, you could create an obsessive compulsive disorder.
Okay, so encourage it, but don't go overboard. Let's go with agoraphobia, which is the fear of being in crowds. One parent was saying there's just so much anxiety in the air right now. I think that kids feel that. Kids are torn between wanting to see their friends again, but after being alone or in small groups, fear of being swallowed up in a crowd is real. How do we address our kids' fears of being back in big crowds?
Well, first of all, with all of these fears, the first thing parents need to do is to talk to their kids about it, to get them to express their fears to the parents. Kids will not necessarily go up to their parent and say, I'm scared of this or that, or I'm even scared, to go to school. So there are different ways of getting kids to express their fears. Like for a young kid, you can give them crayons and paper and ask them to draw what they think it's going to be like going to school. They might draw a picture, for example, of them in the middle of a crowd of kids, which gives you a hint that they might be feeling agoraphobia. They're going to be torn between wanting to be with their friends, hug their friends, and all of that, and being afraid of being swallowed up by them because they haven't been exposed to crowds.
There's also the fear of separation anxiety. One kid said to their parent, I don't want to be away from you. What would be a parent's reaction be at that point?
Well, it's like taking your child to school for the first day, taking them to kindergarten, even if they're a teenager, because they regress to this feeling that they're not going to be safe without you. And plus, they've been with you for so many months that there's a feeling they're going to miss you. How can they deal with it themselves? So just to be very gentle. Another thing is to give them a transitional object. You can give them a photo of the whole family to carry in their backpack, for example, or you can give them, for little kids, a little stuffed animal that they connect to you, and so they have that with them in school.
Dr. Lieberman, I want to address the fear parents have about their child's depression. Today, Superintendent of Schools Tony Thurman is holding a clinic to talk about the health of students and also mental health, which is really important. One parent was saying to me, sometimes I think I ask questions that lead my kids into panic. What do I say to my child to keep them thinking positive?
Well, yes, that's why parents are afraid to talk about things like going back to school or their fears or terrorism or, all of those kinds of things. They're afraid they're going to make their child feel scared, when in fact, it's really the opposite. You can get them. It's more about getting them to express their feelings, getting them to point to emojis, even if they're young, how they're feeling. It's really
thinking outside the box, getting creative with addressing our kids and these back to school fears. Dr. Lieberman, thank you so much for being with us this morning. Appreciate your time. We got to go. 8:49 is your time.